Welcome to another episode of The Low Budget Photographer. I am Wu. You're probably wondering, why has nothing in the background changed? Well, truth is, I've been shooting all these talking heads in one day. All I've been doing is changing my shirt. But let's get back into the episode. What we're talking about today are lenses, low budget lenses. Now, when you buy a camera, it usually comes with a kit lens. Now, this kit lens can range between 18 to 55 millimeters, 3.5 f-stop up to 5.6. Now this is a basic zoom lens, so something that looks like this. It zooms in and it zooms out. Most cameras come with this lens, and it is actually a very, very good lens. Do not discount this lens because it comes with your camera. Now the one I'm holding is the image stabilized one, which is a little bit more expensive than the regular one that comes with your camera, but they do capture the same type of image. Hopefully, I don't forget to add the images that I've taken with these little zoom lenses as I speak on them. Now, the actual price of the normal kit lens without the image stabilization is 1,600 Rand. That is a good price for a kit lens because usually these other lenses that you could get that are for example, your 18 to 55 or your 24 to 70, those lenses, depending on the f-stop you can get, range between 8,000 to 16,000 Rand. Now that is a ridiculous amount of money to spend on a lens, especially if you're someone you're just starting off, or you're kind of in the game but you don't have your finances ready to push over there. You can still use these lenses. People will not complain if you rock up to an event with this kind of lens. I've shot many events with this type of lens. I've actually shot one of the shows on this channel with this lens as well, Munda's Kitchen. Go watch that show. I've shot it with this image stabilized lens. Now this lens can go up to 4,000 Rand if it doesn't come with your camera. So hopefully the people at your camera shop hook you up with this type, the image stabilized one. And what this lens can actually help you with is landscape photography, because it goes all the way to 18 millimeters. So you get proper wide angles. It's very good. You can shoot landscapes, you can shoot cars if you want to, you can shoot buildings, and then you can also zoom into the 55 where you can get pretty decent portraits of people as well. Now another kit lens that you can actually get in the zoom category is the 55 to 250 millimeter lens. Now this lens is amazing if you want to go shoot some wildlife, if you want to go shoot some sport. This one is also image stabilized, so it will be quite pricey if it doesn't come with your lens. It's 6,000 Rand. But now remember, the other zoom lenses that are around this category can reach up to 20 to 30,000 Rand. So this is a steal if you find yourself with this one, especially the one with the image stabilization on it, because when using a zoom lens, it's pretty difficult to actually hold it in place if you don't have a tripod with you. So the stabilization actually helps you get these quality crisp images, especially if you're going to be shooting with a fast or slower shutter speed. Actually, if you want to get, like, you want to see the motion in a bird, for example, you want to get the motion of a sports star moving quickly or cars moving quickly as well. Now with this lens, as I said, you can use it for wildlife, you can use it for sports, but you can also use it for portrait photography. It's very good, especially if you zoom out directly to 250, because what it does, it actually blurs out the background of the image, so it will give you the same feel as a lens that has a very wide aperture. For example, it will look like you took this at f2 or f1.8. So it's a very great lens. But if you can't afford this one, there is the 75 to 300. It's also an f4 to f5.6. It is way cheaper. It's 2,000 Rand. I've used it before. A friend of mine used to have it. It was the first lens I actually used to take portraits, and those portraits I took on a 70D and they still hold up today. They are amazing. It might be the model who was amazing and not me, but there's still some good images as well. So that is a steal. It is 2,000 Rand on the dot, brand new, so you could get it used at a cheaper price as well. I would recommend you buy used stuff because, like for example, if you negotiate down to let's say 600 for the lens, you have 400. Well, you have 1,400 on the side to use on something else. Maybe you get some ND filters as well. So let's always try and get the used equipment, especially if the used equipment looks like it's well taken care of by someone who's been in the industry for a while. They won't charge you an arm and a leg because they'll be very understanding of what these camera product prices are like. Now let's talk about the basic well, not basic zoom lenses, but the basic prime lenses that we can find for a low price. Let's start with what I shot the previous 3 episodes of this show with. It is the 24mm Pancake. I really like this lens because of how crisp it is. You can use it at night as well because of its wide aperture f2.8. It's got a nice wide angle, so you can use it to take landscape photography. You can use it to take images of buildings. Buildings come through great. It doesn't do that whole warping thing where the background looks like it just got added in or stretched out. And I would not recommend using it for portraits, but I have taken some good portraits with this lens before because it's not lower than 24mm. A person's forehead doesn't get extended or the bottom doesn't get extended either. And you saw in the previous episodes how good this lens is at taking videos. It's actually really meant for videos, but I've used it in photography as well, especially the f2.8 part has helped me a lot when I've gone to events where I need to take like a large group photo, but it's also very dark. We can't always rely on our flash to get most of the light in, so a wide aperture is very helpful. So make sure, or if you can, go for this lens. It's very affordable. It's 2,800 Rand, brand new. So obviously you can negotiate with some people and find out how much it is if it's used. Let me check how much the equivalent of this would be in a zoom lens as well. Okay, now if you're looking at other lenses, the 24, let's say f1.4, which has a wider f-stop, which means it brings in more light, they will run you at 7,000 Rand. Now, I'm not saying let's all go Canon. I'm just talking about Canon because that's what I'm using. You can use any type of lens. Just make sure you research what your brand can actually take. For example, if you are a Canon user, you can find yourself buying some Sigma lenses. If you're a Sony user, buy some Tamron lenses. You don't always have to go with what your company or that brand of your camera body is offering. You can always go to a third-party customer and they take great pictures too, because we are in that age now where a lot of the equipment that we use kind of gives you the same output. Now let's talk about the last lens that I have next to me. This is my favorite one to use. This is what they call the Nifty 50. So it is the Canon 50mm EF lens. It is f1.8, which means it is amazing in low light. A lot of people use this for videos as well because it comes through clean. You get that nice blurry background, creamy in the back. It looks so cinematic. When it comes for images as well, it is amazing. It is very sharp. Your images come through clear. Your subject will be very clear while it still blurs the background. It helps you be so creative as well. Like your images, your pictures will end up looking like things that come directly from a movie. So this is an amazing camera, amazing lens to actually have. It is around 2,600 in this day and age, but when I got it, it was around like 1,800 rand when I first bought it brand new. But you can find it used. Luckily the 50 millimeter in every brand is actually very affordable. They don't make this lens expensive, but it is amazing to have. You take great quality pictures. The majority of the pictures I've taken were with this lens. Majority of portraits I've taken, I should say, are with this lens. So that's what we have today. It was the kit lenses, the zoom kit lenses, 18 to 55, and what was the other one? 55 to 250. Both amazing. Both amazing. You can get great quality images out of them. Like you don't have to worry about getting the latest zoom lens. You'll get there eventually. It takes a long time. It takes years. Some people it takes 10 to 15 years to upgrade into those lenses because of how expensive you are. Imagine you're putting a down payment for a car if you're buying one of those lenses or one of those cameras. Then you also have these basic prime lenses, which are also quite good. The 24 millimeter f2.8 pancake. You don't have to get the pancake. I just love the pancake because when I add this lens to my 250D, I can actually fit the camera and this lens into my jacket pocket, so I can actually walk around and people don't know that I actually have a camera with me. That's how great it is, and that's how like tiny and nimble it is to have this on your camera. And if you're a street photographer, it'll be amazing. You're gonna have your camera in your pocket, walk around, take pictures of what's happening in your street, take pictures of buildings and landscapes while being very discreet with the camera as well. So thank you for watching this episode of the Low Budget Photographer. Maybe I'll change my shirt and shoot another one, but hopefully I'll see you again.